It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed awake wondering, is this it? Is this all my life will be? After studying purpose for more than 30 years, here's what I've discovered. Purpose isn't something you find. It's something you recognize and then choose how to live. But most of us have been taught the exact opposite. We've been told to go find it as if it's out there somewhere, waiting, hidden, discoverable. If we just work hard enough and do enough, we'll find it. And that advice, while well-intentioned, is incomplete. Because when you believe purpose is out there, you'll spend your life looking for it outside yourself, in what you do, in what you achieve, and who validates you. And when you still feel unfulfilled, you'll assume you just haven't found it yet. There was a moment I saw this so clearly. Easter Sunday, my parents' kitchen. My mom is baking pancakes while my sisters and I catch up about our busy lives, our careers, our families, our achievements, and she is crying. Now, you need to understand something about my mom. She is Saskatchewan farm-raised tough. She does not cry, at least not in front of us. So I asked her, Mom, what's wrong? She replied, I've done nothing with my life. Nothing. The woman who raised 8 thriving human beings, who built a business alongside my dad on the farm, who created a home full of love, a place where we all wanted to gather. But she believed she'd done nothing. My mom did not lack contribution. She lacked recognition of her own worth, right? And until she could give that to herself, nothing we said would change that. My mom, she is not alone. So many people quietly wonder, does my life matter? Am I important enough to have a purpose? According to a Gallup study, most people worldwide feel disengaged, not from their jobs, from their lives. And when asked what was missing, the answer wasn't money, it wasn't time, it wasn't love, it was purpose. So we search harder. We read the books, we attend the seminars, we listen to the experts, and the more confused we become. I have seen this with so many of my clients, and I did that too. I have sat with world-class trainers who say that purpose is always on the horizon. It's something you're always moving towards as you experience life. Sure, that makes sense, but it left me wondering, if it's always out there, how do I live it right now? I once asked a coach how to find my purpose. She said, help others. That sounded noble. I wanted to do that. But I remember thinking, I can barely keep my own head above water. How can I help anyone else? Purpose is not something that you find out there. And contribution is not the first step. It's the third. First, you have to own your worth. You have to believe that you're valuable before you give to others, before you achieve. Because if you don't think that you're valuable and don't believe that you matter, no amount of achievement will ever feel like enough. The second step is to embrace who you're here to be and to give yourself permission to believe that you're whole and worthy and complete just as you are. We've been taught to attach our value to what we do, but roles change. And if that's where your identity lives, when the role ends, you'll feel incomplete. You'll feel lost. Because purpose isn't in what you do, it's revealed in who you believe you are. Motherhood changed me. You too? The moment I became a mom, my purpose was crystal clear. I had a reason to live for something more than myself. But then, when my kids became independent and didn't need me anymore, suddenly I couldn't even celebrate. Instead, I quietly grieved, because if I wasn't actively mothering, who was I? What was my purpose now? Everything about my role and my purpose was tied to being a parent. So when that role ended, I no longer felt the same about it and about myself. Change is not the exception, it's the constant. This happened to me again in my leadership role when the title that validated me disappeared. And again, I asked myself, if I'm not that, then who am I? What's my purpose now? And this is when I realized something really important. The roles that you play in your life are just one way that you express your purpose, not all of it. Every single thing that you learn and develop, all of your experiences, your talents, your skills become a part of you. And that empowers you to use everything that you've learned for whatever purpose you choose. All my life, I tried to prove I mattered through the way I understood purpose was found, through success, through achievement, and to be honest, none of it ever felt like enough. Because what I was doing was I was looking for something that was on the outside to make me feel worthy on the inside. Here's what I've seen happen over and over again. When we are seeking validation from the outside, it's usually a pattern that started long ago. Somewhere in the past, we didn't get the approval that we wanted, the love we needed, the recognition that we hoped for. And without realizing it, we've been looking for that ever since. Same situation, different people, different roles, same ache. So we prove and we perform and we people please because maybe this time we'll finally feel enough. But that's a trap, because nothing that you do on the outside can ever make you feel good enough on the inside. And as long as you keep chasing validation, you're going to be looking for it in the wrong place. Shortly after that Easter Sunday, I was invited to speak to an agricultural organization that my parents had worked with. And I went and I asked my mom what that organization did for them. She said, "Farmers feed humanity, and they support us so that we can." Farmers feed humanity. What my mom did wasn't nothing. She had always contributed to something bigger than herself, but she couldn't recognize it until she owned her worth. I asked her if I could share her story, and she said yes, because now she recognizes that her life experiences have value. She chose to own her worth, embrace her power, and choose how she would live. And when she did, now she's using her purpose for any purpose she chooses. So stop looking for your purpose out there. It isn't hidden at the end of the rainbow. It isn't waiting in your next achievement. It isn't going to be found in your next title. It's already there within you. You don't need to prove that you matter. You already do. Own your worth, embrace your power, and choose how you will live. And when you do, you will no longer be using your life to earn worth. You will use your life for any purpose you choose. You are here because your life has purpose. And when you own that, you are no longer chasing purpose, you are embodying it. Your purpose was never missing. The belief that you mattered was. And when you own that truth, you're empowering yourself to live with purpose right now. Thank you.